A calm and steady dad isn't the guy who has all the time. He's the one his kids feel safe coming to with the time that he does have. That is what emotional availability is all about, and that is the topic for today's episode. Hi, I'm Dan Hayden, and this is the Positive Legacy Podcast for Christian fathers. We're in week 2 of our series, Activating Faith, Daily Habits to Build Trust with Your Kids. Today's episode is dedicated to one habit, emotional availability. That's being a safe place, not just a provider. That one habit answers one core question that your kids are always asking, even if they're not using words. Is it safe to come to dad? Most of us grew up with a faith that was primarily taught. Catechism, sermons, religious education. Very little of it showed up in how emotions were handled in the home. But our kids aren't evaluating our theology. They probably don't even know what that is. They are experiencing our presence, whether in church, in the car, in the kitchen while we're doing dishes, or on a random Tuesday when they interrupt us for the 5th time. John says, "Let us not love with words or speech, but in action and in truth." Emotional availability is that love in action. It's the way your tone, your face, your posture says, it's safe to come to me. You are not a burden. I see this every day with my daughter. She'll walk into whatever room I'm in, look at me and say, "Hey, Dad." She's not asking a question. She's checking my temperature. And if I respond without looking up, "Hey," in a flat voice, she reads it instantly. Dad is busy, not really safe to go to him right now. If I pause even for 2 seconds, turn my face to her and go, "Hey, what's up, dude?" She usually goes, "Good," and walks away. She's not looking for a deep conversation. She's not even paying attention to my response. She just needed to know what happens if I bring me to dad right now. Your kids are doing the same thing. The way they say hey when they walk into the room, the way they hover near you before actually asking a question, the way they check your face first, not your words. They're constantly scanning for safety. Is it safe? Is it not safe? James tells us to be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. That's not a personality type. That's a habit that you can build. In a recent masterclass for my paid community, I asked the guys, "Hey, when your kid approaches you, what's your default posture? Are you open, distracted, irritated, or rushed?" The answers came quick and honest. I shoot for open, but often I give off distracted. If I'm helping one kid, another kid comes at me sideways and I feel distracted. One guy was pretty honest. "I don't have a great poker face," he said. "My RBF does not help." And when I asked, "What pulls you out of presence the fastest?" we heard the usual suspects. My phone, work email, being elbow deep in dishes, being in the middle of helping another kid. Maybe one of my kids walking up while their hands are in the sink saying, "Dad, unlike my iPad." Here's the truth. Kids always come at us at what feels like the wrong time to us. Like when one of my clients was doing the dishes with wet hands, mentally planning to later help his wife bathe the twins. And his younger son walked up with a taped together stack of paper. "Daddy, can you help me make a paper airplane?" From our point of view, that's just terrible timing. From their point of view, it's just, "I want that." Emotional availability doesn't mean you drop everything every time. It means you notice what's happening in you and you communicate in a way that still says, "You matter. I see you. I'll get to you soon." Before I started working with mental fitness and the SAGE perspective, my pattern looked a lot like this. I'd be in the middle of work or chores. A kid would interrupt. My pleaser would just want to say yes. My controller and judge would be furious at the interruption. I'd often stop what I was doing, but my face and tone were telling a completely different story. "You're in the way. You're an inconvenience right now." They got access to me, but not availability. In the end, they still got what they want, but probably not how they wanted it. Now with PQ tools, that same moment might look differently. I feel that surge of irritation. I catch it. Okay, there's my controller. There's my judge. I take one slow breath, feel my feet on the floor. That's a PQ rep, by the way. Then I turn, look him in the eyes and say, "Hey, bud, I really want to help you right now. Let me finish this real quick and I'll be with you in a second." Same workload, same interruption, but a completely different emotional message. Think about how scripture describes God's presence. "The Lord make his face shine upon you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace." That picture God's face turning towards us is incredibly powerful. Now, I'm not saying you have to walk around with a permanent grin all the time. My own resting face, left to itself, looks kind of like a scowl, but it's worth asking. If my kid described my face when they talk to me, what would they say? Because to them, your face and tone often matter more than your words. When you turn toward them instead of away, and your face says to them, I'm glad you're here, more often than, what now? You're giving them a tiny, imperfect, but real picture of what God's presence really feels like. Let me give you one simple practice you can try this week. Next time your kid comes to you, especially when you're in the middle of something, try this sequence. Pause for 2 seconds. Take one slow breath. Notice one physical sensation. If you're doing dishes, it's your hands in the water. If you're just standing there, it's your feet on the floor. If you're just hanging out on the couch, that's your weight on your chair. Maybe it's your fingers on the steering wheel if you're driving. That is your PQ rep. Then turn toward them. Even if you can't fully engage, physically orient your face and body in their direction. Name your availability honestly. Hey, I see you. I want to hear about that. Give me 30 seconds to finish up here and I'll be right with you. Or, hey, I can't do it right now, but as soon as I'm done with this, I'm all in. You're not trying to be a You're not trying to be a cruise director or an entertainment committee for your family. You're trying to create a predictable experience. When I bring myself to dad, he may not always drop everything, but he does see me. He does respond, and he does come back. That's emotional availability in a home that's still busy, imperfect, and very real. Remember, our kids are not primarily judging our doctrine. They're experiencing what it feels like to be with us. When you grow in emotional availability, your kids slowly learn, my dad is safe to approach. I am not a burden. Even when he's stressed, he still makes room for me. That makes it much easier for them to believe in a God who is present, patient, not steadily angry, and slow to dismiss or shame them. Your emotional availability becomes a bridge to their spiritual availability. Here's your practical challenge. Pick one child in one daily moment where they often interrupt you. Maybe it's during dishes. Maybe you're folding laundry. Maybe it's during homework when they're not a kid. Maybe it's right when you sit down after work. Decide ahead of time. This is my emotional availability training ground. When it happens, pause for 2 seconds, take a breath, do a PQ rep. Name your availability in one simple sentence. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what did it feel like to be with me in that moment? What might my kid have experienced from me there? You're not aiming for perfection. You're building a new muscle, one small intentional moment at a time. In the next episode, we'll focus on repair. What happens after you blow it? Because you are absolutely going to blow it. And how coming back with humility and honesty can actually deepen your kids' trust and activate their faith. As you look back on your week, with which child and in which recurring moment are you willing to become just a little more emotionally availability in that time? As always, good talk. See you next week.